Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. We are going to continue our surviving Pertam, the Wastelands, and we finally put together the base of the mobile base, if that makes sense. Alright, so this is what we got so far with our mobile base. As we mentioned, we're going to build the wheelbase piece of it, and then the top portion, which is the beginning platform of the whole entire rover itself. Alright, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the time lapse for the time being. Alright, so as you may have already seen in the time lapse, it took some time to get this all together. So let me just show you what this looks like currently. Alright, so with the help of this scaffolding mod here, it was extremely helpful in some ways to build onto the rover itself so we climb and weld certain areas, which we need to kind of finish up anyways. But right now we have two systems to kind of help us get up, and that's from here in the front, so we get all to the top platform, and also down here in the bottom where we can go from the right hand side and up this spot so we can finish welding up the bottom piece. So of course we didn't spend a lot of time welding because we kept on using this crane system, which helped a lot in some ways and not so much in other ways, because little tiny movements you would kind of wreck some of the blocks here for whatever reasons. But I'm going to finish welding up the top, and we're going to find a way to weld up the bottom very soon as well. But I think this is the design I'm going to go with, which is a 6-wheel rover and a pretty wide top piece, which you can store a lot of stuff for our mobile base. And then we're probably going to round it out on the top. Probably have to figure that out sooner or later. But I think I like this kind of bottom section here, which is mostly like slope blocks for the most part. And then we have a bit of a wheel section here where we use the half slope blocks on the outside, and then also in the inside here, so we get enough height, because there was a comment that said we should really pay attention to the height of this piece here because of the suspension. If the suspension goes down, we're gonna hit the block. So I did raise it significantly, well, probably a block or two up, and put some half blocks here, so it shouldn't touch it. But if it does, it probably just a little bit of a skidding section there. But yeah, I put that section here, so it just 4 half blocks here, and then you have the half slope blocks on the end. So it looks pretty cool. Same with this one, since this wheel is closer together, I just made it all throughout the end here. So we'll probably round it out in the end as well. So there's probably gonna be like a double decker here, or even more, depending on the situation, right? So here's the top section. This is probably gonna be the where the cockpit's gonna be, the seat, control seats, things like that. And in here, we'll probably put some functional stuff here. I think I'm gonna do some glass panes diagonally here, just so we can see the outside. And yeah, I think most of it is gonna be functional stuff here. Batteries, I don't know, control, a medical room, some hydrogen, things like that. That's where we're likely gonna put stuff here. I haven't really figured out where I'm gonna store a vehicle, so we can kind of store a vehicle up here if it's a small grid rover, like the Croc. So I think that should fit here, but it's I mean, a Croc is not really that big, but this is only like 2 high, so that's not the most space in the world. So maybe up here in the top, maybe, I'm not sure, we'll figure that out sooner or later. But yeah, this is kind of the design we're going with. The bottom is designed interesting as well, where we have these half slope blocks on the wheels, and then we have slope blocks on the outside piece here. Underneath this is all reinforced by half blocks, except for the landing gear currently. So once that gets removed, we're going to put some half blocks there too. So it's half blocks, then a regular block, and then you have this opening right here. So we're going to have to find a way to do a stair system onto the top and a stair system from the bottom up, so we can actually enter into the system. And I'm thinking maybe an elevator type system with pistons, maybe, or maybe a hinge system with a ramp. Either one works fine. We just got to figure out what is the best way to do so. But in the meantime, I'm gonna probably use the crane system. So I did this initially. So if I couldn't weld it, because, well, I don't want to bring this guy around to weld this side, because I'm gonna end up breaking more stuff than actually welding, as you may have seen in the time lapse. So what I'm gonna do is basically use this as arm length just to grab more steel plates. So that's just a nifty little thing to do, I guess. Not the most cool thing to do, but it does help a little bit in terms of grabbing your steel plates. so you can weld your stuff up as quickly as possible. It's because initially I had to keep jumping down, come back up, jump down, come back up, just to get all the parts that I need. So that of course is not, you know, very helpful, but this here is not too bad. And of course you see that it's only got one welder left here. It's because I crashed into the wall a little bit and it just destroyed the other one for whatever reasons, because I may have moved a little too fast in some ways, but I don't know. It's just a system where using that script and that crane system does, you know, a little bit of a nick will pretty much break a lot of stuff. So it's unfortunate, but it's not too bad. But luckily these are pretty quick to weld up because I think these are half blocks. Yeah, these are half blocks. So plenty of room for this rover. So there's a lot of things we need to put on here, right? So we need like a refinery, assembler, some cargo containers, maybe 1 or 2. We're probably gonna do 2, maybe 3 if we needed to. Since right now our current base has 3, it's not completely filled up, so that's a good thing. And what else do we need? We need a hab room so we can live in, maybe a quick little bed, a cryo chamber, medical room, things like that, batteries, a whole power station. And as I mentioned before, I might need some hydrogen just for extra power. So but we will have to find ice for that just to get it powered up. We can do an external solar panel power source with the landing gear if we were desperate for power that way. Well, not solar panel, the wind turbines with a landing gear, and that can give us a little bit of power, or a significant amount of power, but we just gotta stop it, put the landing gear on, and grasp onto the floor. So we're probably gonna have to figure that one out sooner or later to see how we're gonna work that. Yeah, but there's a lot of other things that we need, I think. What else do we need? We don't need a fireplace like we did it for the home over there. Actually, it's not too bad. This space might be a little bit bigger than it needs to be. In terms of all the gear that I need in here, or all the materials that I need in here, but I guess that'll leave us a lot of room for designing. And my initial kind of thought process is maybe make it kind of look like a pickup truck, maybe, because the back here we can store a rover, so that'll be pretty interesting. But we are gonna make this thing very defensive as well, so I probably should have used heavy armor blocks, but that's gonna cost a ton, so that's out of the picture. But we will put some turrets, gatlins, and everything like that, just so we can fend off NPCs and things like that once we have those mods installed. So obviously if I install them now, I'm just gonna get destroyed, so we're gonna wait until we get ourselves a little bit more situated first. We don't have to be super situated, just a little bit more situated, so that we don't easily destroy ourselves in like the first session or the first go at it, because then that would just be lame in that sense. I haven't really thought about the design too much. I know I said I was going to grab some inspiration, and some of my inspirations came from searching through rovers, even NASA rovers, just to see if I could build something like that. And for the most part, yeah, they look pretty cool, but I don't think it's going to be able to house everything I need in terms of a mobile base. And also it's a little difficult to design, at least for my experience at least. I'm pretty sure others will be able to easily do it. It's just going to take way too long for me to do it. And pretty much for this build itself, the current build here is just the bottom piece of the base, or just the structure of the base. And that took me roughly 3 hours to put together because 1, we don't have a jetpack, and 2, we had to just constantly run up and down the different spots just to get everything situated here. So it is a pain to work on things like this without being in creative mode is one thing, and also without the jetpack. It makes it interesting for, you know, like a time-lapse purposes, or, you know, time killing purposes, but it does take up a lot of time to do something like this without those tools. So even right now, I'm pretty much welding everything by hand because that welding system that I have there is likely not going to reach it. And if I do find a way to reach it, I'm just going to end up destroying half the whole entire rover anyways. So no point in doing that. And might as well take the time to just weld it up and talk to you guys at the same time. Alright, so we're almost kind of welded up here. We do need to weld up some of the stuff outside. And we're going to use the scaffolding for that. Alright, so the inside's pretty much done. I do need to kind of put this or fill this in soon, because this is not going to be the entryway up here, or maybe it is, I don't know. We'll figure that out. And again, I think I said, yeah, I did say earlier, we're going to put some windows here. So we'll probably do slanted windows up to the top, so we can see from inside here. So again, lots and lots of room to design stuff, which is great, but if you got to figure out where to put everything. But I'm sure by the time we put everything, we're gonna run out of space and kind of figure out where things go. And likely because of piping stuff up or tubing everything up, or the plumbing of everything, you probably use double walls and everything like that too. So we'll see how that goes. But this thing is probably as big as my home was. Could have just lifted it off the ground and design it that way, maybe. I don't know. But we do need to move all this stuff here. So it looks like we have yeah, we don't have much actually. We only have a refinery, assembler, 3 large cargo containers, a cryo over there, antenna, you know, some power right there. So why did I make such a big rover? We're gonna slowly fill it in, I guess. But yeah, so today's episode's more of, you know, a time lapse, a little bit of talking about the mobile base and what the current design is going to be. But it's going to be a bit of a shorter one because time lapse does take a long time to make, and I just want to kind of walk you guys through of what I have so far. Ooh, almost fell off. What I have so far, which is not too bad. So the design's coming out decently on the outside. Looks like I still have a few more things to weld up on the side, but we can get to those with some scaffolding very soon. But yeah, I'm gonna have to continue working on this, and we're probably gonna work on the design on the top portion of it first, and this is the front, and we'll figure out the back section later. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy this video and the time lapse itself, and if you did, please hit that thumbs up, like the video. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and also that notification bell. As some of you already do, feel free to drop a comment down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.